Navigating relationships is difficult, and it's especially difficult because the one certainty you can expect is that the relationship, how you see it now, will change. If you end up committed to this person, you're in a forever relationship with this person through marriage or companionship, you can and should allow for them to change. It's interesting because when people get married, the first thing usually the husband will say is, I just don't want you to change. I don't want you to change. I don't want you to change me. Let's love each other like this for the rest of our lives. And although your intentions can be good, the actual way that plays out is oftentimes surprising. And the reason is because relationships evolve. And with that evolution, they change. It depends on if they're in school, if they take classes, their job, their experience in life, how their parents change, how their original family changes. All of these things constitute how and why we change. Now, not all change is bad in relationships. Instead, in fact, you have to welcome it because it's an opportunity to grow, and it makes it challenging. And this is what makes marriage so exciting, is that even though you marry this person is going to change. And as they change, they will bring new interests and ideas to you, and you will change too. So I want to talk to you about some of the changes you can anticipate and expect, and what I mean when I say a relationship is challenging, and it really does take both people to have an open mind. So some of the most common examples: one of the partners changes their mind about whether they want kids. Your partner wants to live somewhere you don't. Your significant other realizes that you aren't monogamous, or that they aren't monogamous, and they want to try another type of intimacy, another type of maybe expanding on their marriage, sometimes not. I've had couples who decided after years of marriage that they were actually not really hetero, they were gay, and all the time they were trying to force themselves, trying to go along with a lifestyle that they really shouldn't have been. It wasn't their truth, it wasn't who they really was. And that person has to really negotiate with their partner. Their partner has to be loving and have the ability to forgive them so that they can both move on and find love. Your partner experiences a new physical change to their physical body or their mental health that can really present challenges to the couple, and that means your relationship will have to change. Let's say one of you were in a car accident and lost a limb or had some other catastrophic happening. This would definitely make an altercation in the way you related and how the relationship was going to evolve from there. Sometimes it seems like change causes a shift in relationships that are minor, and these minor ones, these don't really have to be a big deal. They don't have to really change the dynamics that much, but they will make changes nonetheless. Your partner joins the gym or starts a new hobby, takes you away from them, exposes them to other type gym-minded people. Lifestyle changes are significant in that. One of you makes a new friend. That new friend adds other friends, new interests. Sometimes that can be a threat to the relationship. This is probably one of the more common ones I deal with in my office. You or your partner's work schedule changes. Maybe you are both working days. One of you gets switched to nights. The dynamics of this is going to make a big change. Annoying habits begin to surface for the first time. Maybe you didn't see these before, but all of a sudden your partner's getting more comfortable and you'll start recognizing them. So I thought it would be helpful to go through the normal stages of relationships so you can understand how these other things that happen, how people evolve and change, can really interact with this. Many of you listening to this have not been to pre-marriage counseling or pre-engagement counseling. You really don't know what you're up for if you decide to marry, and I think it's good to go through these classic signs. The first one is the infatuation stage, the honeymoon stage. This is when you're totally smitten with each other. You cannot imagine being without each other. You cannot imagine fighting with each other. Everything about this person is upbeat and positive. The second is the coming together stage. You're starting to see each other's real truths, starting to see their weaknesses as well as their strengths, giving you more objectivity, giving you more insight into this person. The power struggle or disillusionment stage is next, and that's when you're starting to kind of vie for positioning. You're looking at things like you're sensitive to being disrespected, or you may be more sensitive to any harshness in them, criticism. And this is important. It's an important stage to go through because it makes you heightened and on alert. Is this person really a good person? Is this person really void of any red flags I maybe should have seen, but I didn't see in the beginning stage? Does this person lie, or is this person's word their truth? And do they follow? If they say they're going to do something, do they follow it? And then there's the commitment stage. That's when you decide, I can work with this person. We can build something great. Overall, we have a trust, we have a loyalty, we have an honesty. I get along with this person. This person makes me feel safe and protected, and as though they have my back. And this is a stage that most people are at a point where they will get engaged and get married. And then there's the co-creation stage. Now that we're together, we're going to create something incredible, this relationship. And as we create it, we're going to talk about things, really hard questions. You know, how do we feel about our values, our faith, our political alignment, what we enjoy, what we expect from our family of origin? How are we going to help take care of our family of origin? Make sure that we're a contributor rather than a taker. And within that is really going forward, creating more of the relationship, learning to negotiate well, learning how to talk to each other when each other's upset, learning how to love each other. So is a change in a relationship from this normal pattern bad? No, it's not bad. It is important, though, that you allow for it because it's going to happen. And I think the most important thing is, rather than to reject what's happening, to deal with the change. Ask yourself first, what am I willing to change about myself to help this relationship stay healthy and loving and respectful? And then secondly, talking to your partner about, what do you think needs to be done? You know, what areas are you comfortable working on changing? How can we make this relationship work with what you're feeling, bringing to the table now, or what I'm bringing to the table? And investigate the possible reasons for the change. Maybe your partner was always religious, and all of a sudden they just gave up on faith. They lost a significant person, or they lost a parent, or they watched a parent suffer, or someone they love suffer, and they've decided that this loving God maybe isn't so loving, or they're questioning their faith. All of these are completely normal, but when you get to the root of the problem, you can know better how to help them. Maybe we should talk to our pastor. Maybe we should go on a retreat. Maybe we need more insight. We need a support group right now that's going to help both of us. Zero in on the real problem. Sometimes people who always love pets will all of a sudden get very anti-pet. They don't want them in the home. And you can make this about other things. Maybe that person feels like there's no balance. Maybe they feel like they have no say about anything. So the one thing they do have a say about is how they feel about animals. And they may find that that becomes a bigger issue than what it really is. It's a bigger issue because they feel like they haven't gotten any of their other choices about the way things should go. So they will fight strongly for this, or they will actually draw a line in the sand. And I think the more you communicate and talk about what is happening with the change, the better it's going to be. You're going to gain understanding instead of trying to convert them or win them over to your side. And lastly, you need to know which deal breakers in your mind are true, okay, I can't continue the relationship. If your relationship is based with someone who suddenly realizes they're the wrong gender, or they've got a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, these are things that come up, and you have to draw a line in the sand, because you can't be another sex, and you also have to worry about if your partner's another gender, how would that even be for maybe kids that are coming into the marriage or already in the marriage, to your friends, to what it may open each of you up to health risk wise. Things like this are very important. Or if your partner all of a sudden decides something like, they want threesome, or they want more in their sex life than just monogamous, that's an issue. And that's a line in the sand for many couples, and you needn't feel guilt about that. The most important thing when you draw a line in the sand is you're honest about it, you're open about it, you give them grace, you're able to forgive them, but you realize this will not work for you. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.